I want to tell you a really, really nice story. There was once upon a time, there was a man, his name was Yechezkal. Yechezkal was a wood chopper. That's a person that goes to the forest and he takes an axe. An axe is a special type of a tool. It's very sharp and has a long stick, and you could bang against the wood and it cuts the wood. And this way he would be able to chop wood. This is what he would do every single day. He'd chop the wood, and after he chopped the wood, he put the wood into piles, and he tied it up with a rope, and he put it on his back, and he carried it all the way back to town. It was very heavy and very hard, and Yechezkal would sell the wood to people so that they could cook. Right, in their ovens in those days, that's how they cooked. They put wood in it, and the wood would make a fire, and they would be able to cook, or people would use it to heat up their house. So this was Yechezkal's job. As a matter of fact, this was the same job that Yechezkal's father did. As a matter of fact, this was the same job that Yechezkal's grandfather did. It was a very hard job, and you didn't make very much money. Yechezkal had a nice family, he had a lot of kids, but they were very poor, and they lived in a very small house, and their clothes were very old, and their furniture was very old. And Yechezkal didn't have enough money to buy really good food. When I mean good food, he wasn't able to buy like meat and chicken. Oh, his family ate enough. They had bread and they had cheese. They weren't starving, but they didn't get a chance to eat all the great foods that other people were able to eat. And Yechezkal was always thinking, oh, I wish I had more money so we could live in a bigger house, and we could eat better food, and we could have nicer clothes and nicer furniture. He was always thinking like that. He was never happy with what he had. And every day Yechezkal would go to the forest, and he would chop wood, and he would carry the wood back, and he would sell the wood, and he'd make a little bit of money, and that's how his family lived. And he did this for many, many years, year after year. But he was always wishing, oh, I wish that I had a lot of money. I wish I lived in a nicer house. I wish I had better clothes and better food. He was always thinking like that. The years went by, and he was getting older. It was getting harder to carry all that wood. Especially, he'd get up early in the morning. Sometimes it was freezing. It was the winter. Sometimes he had to walk in the freezing cold. It was snowing, and it was freezing. Sometimes it was in the summer. It was so hot. Oh my gosh. And as he got older, it was getting so much harder. And he was always thinking, oh, I wish I had a lot of money. I wish I had a nicer house. I wish we could eat better foods. He was never happy with what he had. One day, he went to the forest and he chopped the wood. And after he was done chopping the wood, he made piles, and he tied them up with ropes. And he was about to carry the wood back into the town when he realized, whoa, it is so hot. I don't want to walk back in the burning sun. I'm going to wait till it cools off. So he put down the piles of wood, and he laid back against the tree, and he closed his eyes. He wanted to just rest for a few minutes. All of a sudden, he sees a young man. Whoa, where did this young man come from? And the young man is wearing beautiful clothing. Whoa, those are so beautiful. And he was like shining. Everything about this young man, he was like shining. Whoa, who is this young man? And the young man turned to Yechezkal, and he said, Yechezkal, Hashem has heard your tefillah. Hashem wants to give you your wish. What do you wish, Yechezkal? What is it that you want? And Hashem will do it for you. And all of a sudden, without thinking, Yechezkal says, oh, I wish that everything that I touch will turn to gold. I'll be so rich. If everything that I touch turns to gold, I could be so rich. And the young man said, Hashem is giving you your wish. Everything you touch will turn to gold. And suddenly, the young man disappeared. Where'd he go? And Yechezkal turned and he touched the pile of wood that he was about to carry back to town. And sure enough, it turned to gold. Oh my gosh! It's gold! It's worth so much money! And he jumped up. He was so excited. And he began to touch everything. He saw a big rock. He touched the rock. It turned to gold. He began to touch everything around. It was gold. Whoa! Everything. This is so exciting. I'm going to be so rich. I'm going to live in the biggest house. And I'm going to have the nicest clothes. And my family's going to be so happy. Oh, this is so great. And Yechezkal was very thirsty. So he reached down to grab his water bottle so he could take a drink. But as soon as he touched the water bottle, it turned to gold. Whoa! So he lifted up his golden water bottle. It was still filled with water. And he took the bottle and he started to tip it over towards his mouth. And as the water came out and touched his lips, the water turned to gold. He couldn't drink the water. Then he reached into his bag. He was so hungry to grab his sandwich. But as soon as he touched the sandwich, it turned to gold. And all of a sudden, Yechezkal realized, oh no, everything that I touch will turn to gold. I'll never be able to eat. I'll never be able to drink. If I want to give my children a hug, they could turn to gold. Oh no, what did I do? What did I do? And Yechezkal began to cry so hard. Oh, why did I do this? Why did I want everything to turn to gold? Oh, I wish that I never did this. I wish that I was the way I used to be. Oh, I wish I was the way that I used to be. And he cried, and all of a sudden, he opened up his eyes, and he looked around, and he realized it was only a dream. He fell asleep. It was a dream. Nothing turned to gold. There was no young man. It was just a dream. And Yechezkal jumped up and he screamed out, Baruch Hashem, thank you Hashem, thank you. I'm so happy. I'm so happy with what I have. I'm so happy that I'm a wood chopper. I'm so happy that I'm poor. I'm so happy with my family. I'm so happy with my house. I'm so happy with the bread that we eat. And from that day on, Yechezkal was so happy with everything that he had. He was so grateful to Hashem for all the good things that Hashem was giving to him and to his family.